Hello and welcome to yet another episode of TesterSpeak. And I'm your host, Brijesh Deb. My guest today made a brief appearance on YouTube a few days ago with a short video bite, and her views resonated with a lot of testers. So here she is on the TesterSpeak episode to explain more about her views, her thoughts, her journey as a tester. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming Aakruti Shukla as my guest. Welcome, Aakruti.
Hey Brijesh, how are
How,
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm also good, doing very great.
Okay. And so, how are things in this lockdown situation?
Things are really great. So it's been long. I've been living at home. It's like after 5 plus years, uh, I'm living home for so much of time. Like even I'm working. So that is a great feeling. Like working from home is really great.
Okay. So, 5 plus years you've been away from home, and you now had the opportunity to come back home and then work from there. That is nice to hear. So, obviously, you live somewhere else and you work somewhere else, right?
Yes. So I work in Pune and I live in Pansamal, which is in Madhya Pradesh. So Pansamal is very tiny hill station type of area. So this
Nice.
is really, yeah, a nice season.
I do not know how do you get the motivation to work from a hill station, but because I would never do that. Okay, if I was in hill station, I would just chill out. Any, anyways, uh, yeah, okay. So you did a recent video bite for uh, for the test chat group, and which resonated with a lot of people. So people are a lot curious to know about your journey, your career journey. So could you tell us a little more about it?
Okay, so I have started with the development. So in initial years of my career, I was into development. But
Nice.
was in development while performing my work, I used to feel burdened. Like I don't used to enjoy my work. And then slowly I got to know about testing, and then I've explored testing. And then while switching, I have joined testing, and then from that point of time, there is no looking back. So this is how my journey is, and I really enjoy doing testing a lot.
Well, okay, welcome to the club. You are actually talking to a person who was working in development for some time and then switched on to testing. I'm also just like you. I did development for a few months, and then I was asked to test. Of course, it was not by my own choice, but I was asked to test, and once I started testing, I never went back to development. I just didn't feel like, because you don't get paid for criticizing others, like in any other profession. So, so yeah, so it's more like more satisfying to say, hey, there's a problem. Okay, so and then you get paid for it. Okay, nobody says, oh, you should not be doing that. But then, of course, those things should not be tried at home. You should not be going around and saying, "Mom, there is no salt in the food" or something like that. You can't be doing that. But yeah, that's how it is. Now, I was talking about your video bite. In that, you mentioned a
You're
challenge, and a lot of testers have kind of resonated with the challenge that you mentioned. So we would obviously like to know more as to what kind of challenges you faced as a tester, and how have you overcome those.
okay. So there was a time where I was working on a project, uh, the requirement of which was not that much clear, and the project was very big and challenging. So when we started working on that project, that was on very initial level, and I was like, I had that time 2 3 years of experience almost, so I didn't know much about detailed detailed terminology of our development life cycle. Like we have unit testing, and then the requirement has to be very clear. So till the time I've worked on mid-level of company and or say the small scale company. So many times you don't get very clear requirements. We just heard that, yeah, you have to design this. They just tell us the concept, and then we just on ground we evaluate and we see how that can be done. We search about that thing. So that was kind of experience I had in that project. So requirement was not clear. We were in meeting. We used to decide one point, and while performing the test, the development team and the testing team was on the different levels. So much chaos used to get created. Then we worked on the process. Brijesh, your voice is breaking and your video is stopped. Can you hear
No,
me?
I can. Please go on.
Okay. So we have tried different process. So we have decided that we will write test cases briefly, and then we will share it with the development team, and then they will execute it. Then that is how we may end it to a common level of the product, like which we all want, and we should be in same page. So this was the basic challenge that we were. The basic challenge was we didn't have any clear requirement, and we were trying to develop that project. And slowly, then we have evaluated after a certain time of certain time, and then we have created a good project, and everyone was on the same level.
Okay, that is interesting. I mean, yeah, there are challenges obviously with developers and testers not being on the same page. Apart from that, okay, developers and testers not being on the same page. What do you think are the other challenges that you see as a tester that bother you, that you feel that need to be looked at and need to be taken care of?
Yeah, so there is one challenge that testing is always like looked on like down. So many people, like I would say, the people I have came across through in my 6 years of career, testing is not valued that much, and basically that impacts the quality. Like they don't value the quality of product. They just focus on the like there are deliverables.
Deliverables,
So
yes.
that thing, yeah. So this is the thing. Like I feel challenged, and I'm trying to like explain people like why we should focus more on quality rather than the like they give so much time to development, and then just at the time of when they have to deliver the product, they just give us 1 or 2 days max, irrespective of complexity or how big that project is. They just consider, yeah, in 1 and 2 days testing will be done, and they even don't care about the bugs which we raise. So, and like I try, but how much we can explain, I really think about that.
Well, this is a story almost everybody on TesterSpeak so far has shared with me. Okay, everybody says
Yeah.
that has not or testing is not valued as much, or testing is looked down upon, and I feel that is a huge mindset shift that is required in the industry. Okay, people don't realize that testers are the ones who are bringing in value in terms of highlighting risks, in terms of telling you what the problems may be, telling you the different um, not just the problems, but telling you the different behavior you will see from the product when different user handles it in a different situation altogether. So if you look down upon those people, it is not going to help you. Which is very clear. But then you said testing being looked down upon by development. Do you see that as a problem within the industry? Do you think it is just the developers who look down upon you, or it's people in general, HR, or maybe the management also do that?
So luckily, I haven't like faced this experience from HR. I've always got good experience from HR. So when people like in my initial, like when I had very less experience, I used to think, yeah, like no, this should not be done. Why they do like that? But when I today I see that if they are not valuing testing, then I feel pity for them. Like why? Why you're not actually valuing? You're not thinking about the testing, then you're not thinking about the quality of your product, and that is going to impact. If you don't care about the quality, then how, like you're not valuing directly your customers. So
Exactly. Yes.
I don't feel bad about myself. I feel bad about them, like about their customers who are going to use our product.
So have you ever said this to somebody in the management? That I feel bad about your customers. I don't feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Have you actually said this?
Yeah. No, I didn't include me. I included the customers. Like how they're going to use this. I'm feeling very bad. So there was a time when I have told this earlier, I think. There was a time when my product was deployed directly to the customers. And
Oh, wow.
after giving it to customer, I have been informed that that is already given to customers. So when I had talked with management team, so that was like my genuine concern, and I was so worried, like why this has been done, like this is not good. How they are going to use our product that is not even tested. We don't know what is there in that product. So that I have told this to management.
Oh, nice.
Like I have even created worried environment there.
I can imagine that. I wonder if your management has ever purchased maybe a TV, which at the back of the TV you have this little sticker saying "tested okay," right? So maybe they have gone
Yeah.
and bought TV which did not have that label, and maybe it has worked for them. So they thought, okay, we can do the same thing to the customer. We'll not test it and we'll just give it to them and say, okay, you do the testing. We don't care. Okay. Now, you
Yeah.
brought up a very important point of keeping focus on the deliverables and not on the quality of the deliverables. Now, how as a tester, how as a tester can you help these people to bring that focus back into the quality of the deliverable and not just the deliverable itself?
So I can bring that, like I can try to explain them why quality is important. So I'm already trying. I've already tried previously that the quality which is not there in product, that is directly going to impact our company, like not even the product. So by being focusing on the quality, we are focusing on the customers. So I'm trying to like convince things
So, how much do you think is education on testing important?
very much, pretty very much. Like even like in our group chat, I've heard about like the testing should be included in academic. So we have designing things and architectural things in our academic, like in, but sorry. So I'm more good in Hindi than English. So please
Okay, it's
cooperate
okay.
with me. So so when if we are giving the designing things on academic level, basically we are creating one engineer to create a product for our customers. So in that process, whatever levels we have, that should be included in our study. And testing should be given more important than the development. That is what I feel. Because development is just the base, and testing adds value to the product. So
Yes.
without, if you're not like you're not adding the value thing in your study or in your curricular activity or in the syllabus, then that is obviously that is why we are here. Like we are trying to convince people about the things which should not have happened if that must be there in that syllabus. So that is
I,
what I feel.
I completely agree with you because this has also been my biggest concern over so many years of my career, that we have to go through different training institutes or whatever to learn about testing, and there is nothing in our syllabus which actually tells us about testing. We do not have a formal degree in testing. Okay, we may be called as a qualified computer engineer or an IT engineer if we learn a few languages and if we learn about maybe architecture, maybe design, and things like that. But where is testing in all of that? So you bring a very good point there. Now, let me take a step back. Okay, so you said having them in your uh, college curriculum may help. Now we've seen subjects like Java and C and C++ being taught to students in school. Do you think testing can be taught in schools as well?
Yes, of course. Why not? If that is included, then even the part of in every uh like there is Java, C Sharp, if they have optional we have option to select this subject, then if they cannot give one different if depend on the curriculum, obviously if they don't want to give testing as a different subject, then they should at least give the 25% of Java syllabus to testing. They should dedicate that part to testing. So people should be aware of this. Every whatever you say, whether that is Java or C Sharp or Python, they should include testing in their syllabus because every language will need testing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree with you, and I was going to say that you may write a program in Java, but at the end of it, you will test. You will need to test it, right? You build something using Java, you obviously need to test it, right?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I mean, it surprises me how people conveniently use a programming language in the curriculum, and they forget about adding anything to their curriculum about testing. It is a real surprise. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about is educating our customers. Now, when we talk about quality and things like that, I see a big smile on your face. I know why that is. Okay, so uh, and you're going to tell me why that is. I'm not going to sit here and assume because testers do not assume. Okay, so mm, so
You just continue. I will then.
when we talk about educating our customers, a step before that is educating our management. Okay, about testing. So
True. Agree. Yeah.
first it is educating our own management about testing, and then the next step is educating our customers. So how do you, or what steps do you recommend in terms of educating first the management and then educating the customers?
I think I think actually so the process should be designed in such a way then like whenever that product is signed and the contract is signed about that product, whenever we start the requirement collection, so tester should be involved. This we all know that tester should always be involved from the requirement gathering time. So we can
Yeah,
remove bugs, maximum bugs over there. So bugs finding gets start from there. So educating management and then customers. So I will like focus. I will tell like the process should be like that. When the BA is interacting with customer, tester should also be involved in that interaction because at the end of time, we are the people who are going to see the requirement and test the product. So as much as BA required, more than that, the tester is required while collecting the requirement because on ground we are going to evaluate that product based on the requirement. So educate management and customers. So how I will educate customers, I don't know, because what I feel or what I have came across till now in my experience, that customer value the quality of product. But when the communication happens, they have always informed that we have tested and that the product doesn't have bugs or less bugs or whatever. They don't know that this is not tested or this that value to testing is not given that much as compared to the development or other phases. So I think I don't feel right now, like in my experience, I don't feel the experience to educate customers, but I feel the value, like I should, I don't know on what different ways I can educate management people. So if tester is involved, like if tester is communicating more with customer, then that need will get decreased. So the value will increase of quality.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's what I think. Okay. First is educating the management. You are absolutely bang on right that testers need to be included right in the beginning. It should not happen in a lot of companies. What I have seen happening is that the developers get the requirement, and what the testers get basically is the developer's version of the requirement. It is not the original requirement. It is a version that comes in from development. So whatever you test or whatever bugs you find will either be marked as designed, or they will be marked as not a bug. Okay, so that is a sad story in a lot of organizations. But then
True.
and there comes in the thing about educating your management about testing, and it is important that you keep showing them the value. Now, one of the things that the testers can do, obviously, is to start testing the requirements. Forget about start testing the product. Look at the requirement when you get it with the BA, and that is where having a tester early in the project life cycle helps you. This is you start with the requirements itself, okay, and then you take it from there. The next step. If you do not focus on the requirements and if you wait for the product, it may be too late. So yes, I quite agree that involving them early solves a lot of problems. And the other thing is about communication. So at all points of time, all lines of communication between the tester and the remaining stakeholders of business, whether it is BO, BA, or the developers, whoever it is, should always be open. And you brought in a very good point by saying that when the product is given to the customer, they don't even know whether it is tested or not. So which means that there is lack of honesty in the communication that is happening. There is not much of honest communication that is happening, which is a good thing to highlight. And I applaud you for bringing that point of view, because
No, actually, what I will like keep point here that no, honesty is not coming into picture. Why? Because they are thinking the way BA or they are focusing more in view of my project, focus on unit testing is more. So from using unit testing and the way BA tests, they think that testing is done. So they are taking themselves as a tester. So that is why they feel like no, that they are being honest, that this is testing is already done, and this is how it is there.
so there is basically uh, no need for a tester. Just the developer and the BA
Yeah,
can run the show.
yeah. So that is what they are feeling while giving it to the customer. Product is and they give product to customer.
Yeah, that can be a problem, because when you are talking about you know uh, when you're basically talking about giving quality product to the customer, quality is subjective. Everybody has their own perception of what quality is. What I feel is good quality may not be good quality to you. What you say is good quality may not be good quality to you. So obviously there should be certain standard definitions okay, about the product, saying, okay, this is on these quality parameters, we have evaluated the product and this is where it stands. Okay, ask the customer what he or she is looking for in terms of quality in the product. What parameters did they want? Do they want that the product should be scalable enough, or it should be, obviously things like usability and things like that come into play. But apart from that, are they looking at something else?
Brijesh, your voice broke. It's breaking.
Can you hear me now? Is it okay? Can you hear me?
I cannot. Oh, yeah, now I hear you. Still, it is not clear. Okay, now I can see you. No, I cannot hear you. You're mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Repeat.
yeah, basically what I was talking about is you know being honest with the customer, and telling the customer that, okay, you know uh, so much testing is done, so much testing is not done, or if that person has looked at, or if the tester has looked at the product, if it meets the quality parameters that you assigned. You said that, okay, it should be performing well, the security should be
Your voice,
tested, and
Brijesh.
it's breaking again. Can you hear me? Do you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what needs to be done. If you see my voice breaking, on the
hmm,
top right hand side of your screen, you see a gear icon, settings icon,
yes,
right? You see that? Okay. So click on that.
yeah,
Uh, you will see turn off audio and turn on audio. Do you see that option? If you click on the settings.
yes, yes,
Okay. So
yeah.
next time you see my voice going off, just turn that off and turn it on again. It'll be okay. It'll fix it.
Okay.
Okay. For now, can you hear me? Turn it on again, please. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Okay. You've chosen the phone audio option, is it?
Microphone, yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So some technical difficulties, but at least we are good. We can hear each other. So yeah, what I was saying is, quality parameters are important. What quality parameters that the customer is looking for is very important, and there must be honest communication about that, and then we decide whether product is good enough or not. Now, we've spoken so much about different aspects. What do you think? Because we've already spoken about testing for academics and testing, bringing testing down to the school level and things like that. Uh, what do you think is the advice that you want to give to young testers? Testers who have just joined the industry or are planning to start their career in testing.
Okay, so the advice I would like to give it to them is know about like study, learn about testing, know as much as concepts they can know in even in the if they do it in initial year of their career, then they're like they will be it will be better for them. Then I've seen one video. I didn't remember the name of the lady who was delivering this speech. Uh, Literature, like read more books that from that so that we can know or the freshers can know about different perspectives. Then uh, then also one thing I've heard, which is like I agree to the core, take every project as a learning experience, perform like work towards the quality, learn from it, and then use your experience, use all the concepts of testing, and then of course we have to test keeping the customer like how they are going to use our product on point. Like we have to keep it in mind that we have to test our product in that way. So these are all things which I would like to tell the newcomers.
Some very good advice, and I think it is not just for freshers or for people who want to start their career. It is actually useful for some of the very experienced people. Now, you made a very good point by talking about
Yeah.
learning the art of understanding everybody's perspective. That is very important. And as a tester, you take in everybody's opinion. Of course, you have your opinion. You don't let that be influenced by others' opinion, but you also consider others' perspective. And it is very important because when you are testing, one of the very important things is while we do testing is considering the user persona. So there may be, like I gave an example of how a phone is used by a student versus a working professional. It may be the same phone. Okay, both of them may have the iPhone 11 which you have. Okay, as a student you will use it differently, and as a working professional you will use differently. Okay, so the perspectives are different. Okay, so it is important that as a tester we understand those and we value those, and we make sure that due importance is given to each perspective. Now, another interesting question that comes to my
Yeah.
mind about, sorry.
Two more points to add.
Yes.
So one
Yes.
is join community. Like we have did, like I have did basically. So that is after joining our the test chat, my knowledge is increased. I'm like working on more better way than I've used to work previously. So that is also the advice I would like to tell to give. And then join sessions and keep your mind open to accept all things. Yes, as you said, that we should have our own opinion, but be open to everything and then think from your like just consider it and think what is right and then act in that way. Then join social media. So I have got this link from the social media, like the professional social media LinkedIn. So even make use of it in a good way. That is also I want to add.
I'm
Sorry
glad
to
you brought
interrupt. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to ask you about the test chat community and about how it is helping you. Now, good that you mentioned about communities. Be a part of a community. Learn from other testers. Learn from others' experiences. That is very important. Talk to people. Uh, One of the things at the test chat that we do is to make sure that testers speak out. Okay, testers should become more vocal, more expressive. So, what is your thought on that?
Yeah, my thoughts are like very nice. So I'm more of a active listener than like I listen more and speak very less. So even while communicating, I try to listen everyone and then speak a little bit. But when after joining the test chat, I have seen that everything, if I have any opinion about the things, that is valued, and there are no judgments because at some time we are like if I'm in 2 years of experience, if I was in at a point, then there are possibility that even on the 6 years of experience people, they are on the same level, or vice versa. So this the differences are not there in our group, like in test that everyone is valued and everyone's opinion is valued, and like the suggestions are really great, and I have felt that I've been pushed toward the growth use when I started using the test chat. So these things are, and there are many more. So I'm even like how to keep like how to deliver my thoughts in words. I'm little working on it. So that is why like this is only thing I would like to say now.
Well, thank you for those very kind views on the test chat. That is the whole idea about that community is to basically uh, push people from their comfort zone and make them aware that they are uh, of much more value. Okay, a lot of times what I have experienced is that people do not realize their own value. Okay, yes, it's a good thing
Yeah,
that you are a good listener, you are an active listener, which is a very good quality. Okay, no doubt about it. Not everybody has the skill of listening so carefully. It's very nice. However, at the same time, if you listen and you do not react or you do not speak up, then the point is lost, right? If you listen and then you're able to reflect back on that, empathize, and say, okay, I understand your perspective, but here is mine. If you do that, then it adds value to the entire conversation, and you will see that whatever, if we take for example, if there is an issue, and if you're trying to resolve that issue, that issue will be resolved much faster, and we learn a lot. I mean, you are on point. You're absolutely on point. That it is all about continuously learning. So when we take every project, that is a learning experience, which is a very good perspective, a very good advice to testers. It's not like, okay, I come in at 9 o'clock, I leave at 5 o'clock, I do whatever, and then I look forward to the salary at the end of the month. So until and unless you are learning something, the experience that is on paper on your resume does not help you. So that's a very simple point, and you put it in words very nicely. You also mentioned about you know people uh, basically learn because you also mentioned about people trying to come out of their shell in a very different way. Okay, you said people opening up. Okay, bringing a coming out and saying things. You said that you are trying to learn to express your thoughts in words. This is a learning process. This all of us go through this evolution. Okay, when we started our career, when I started my career, I did not have a platform like this, and I had to take lessons in communications. Okay, I had to actually go for lessons, communication training lessons, to understand how to talk, to learn how to talk, to learn how to listen, to learn how to respond to people, to learn how to, you know, things that we were taught is okay, mirror the voice of the other person or mirror the tone and things like that. I mean, the communication training that is given to a lot of people who are working in the IT-enabled services like call centers and stuff like that, they are given a lot of communication training. So I went through one such training institute and actually got trained on that. But now we have forums like this. We have, we have meetups, we have conferences, we have communities like the test chat. We have other communities. Okay, so once we have these resources, we should make use of these resources. That is something that I feel, and I am glad you are a part of it. I'm glad that you're able to share your thoughts and views about it, and it's very positive. Now, on that note, I want to ask you one final question. Okay, before we go, what does Aakruti like doing when she's not testing?
So I like reading a lot. So I read books, and when in Pune, I like trekking. So I go for a trek. Mm. And at home, then I sometimes even cook, which I don't do in Pune, but I'm doing right in nowadays, helping my mom
Which is nice.
and spending time with family. Yeah.
That is nice. That is nice. So you live in a hill station. You have plenty of opportunities to go trekking, but obviously the lockdown has to be removed for that completely for you to be doing that freely.
Yeah,
but,
true.
but then yeah, it's nice that you are actually able to do these things. I mean, trekking is a good hobby. Not many people have. I also don't have that. I want to, but somehow can't muster up the courage to be able to do that. Maybe someday I'll start with that hobby because I like when I see documentaries or I see videos of people talking about trekking and sharing their experiences. I'm like, oh, I should be doing that as well. It seems like a lot of fun. So okay, maybe I'll take some trekking lessons from you. Okay, so, we can have that. All right, Aakruti, it was fantastic speaking to you today. Thank you so much for being my guest at TesterSpeak. I think this is a very
Thank you so
valuable.
much.
It's a
Thank you
very
so much,
valuable.
Brijesh.
Please go ahead.
Sorry.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Uh, yeah, thank you so much to you also. I was going to say, even I'm glad that I'm part of that community, and thanks to you, Paz, Sachin, and Mr. Teapot for creating this platform. This is really very nice, and we are like glad to have in that platform.
No, thank you, Aakruti. I mean, the things that you said, I really appreciate the very candid conversation that we had. There are a lot of things that I have learned as a result of this. Okay, something that I do not pay attention to. I'll be very honest. Is the thing on perspectives. I I have it, but something that I've been a little ignorant of late. Okay, so I need to focus on that. Thank you for bringing that important lesson for me. I have my takeaways from this. I am glad I was able to speak to you today. I understand that you have your weekends on Fridays and Saturdays instead of Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm going to let you enjoy the
Yeah.
rest of your weekend and have a good time. And we will catch up soon.
Thank you, Brijesh. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Okay. See you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.